Hi, welcome back to my channel. I don't have something prepared that'll probably be coming up hopefully this Saturday or maybe even Friday. I want to talk about an upcoming video I want to share with you, and it's something very meaningful. I mean, all my videos are meaningful, but I something meaningful. It's like my philosophy of life. I was talking with someone from my past, a classmate, former classmate, and we were talking about someone else, and I've always felt dismay about this other person, not the person I was talking with, but I have wanted to share how, like the role models, and what a particular role model, a particular set of role models um, I grew up with, and they weren't actual people. Well, I mean, some of them were actual people. I mean, Gene Roddenberry and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, but and a few others. But I want to talk about the earliest impacts I had. The earliest movie I can think of that I saw in the movie theater was Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi. Ironically, that's at the in the climax. That's the climax of the original trilogy. After talking with this friend of mine from school, I was remembering how in an earlier talk with this other person that I I had just brought up Star Trek, and the other person said, uh, "I'll try and disguise what the person said so I don't give away the person's identity." Um, oh, something like maybe, "Why do you like Star Trek so much?" or "Why is it that you talk about Star Trek?" Something like that. So I wished, I looked forward, I kind of fantasized that I could share with this other person the philosophical outlook, the attitudes, the themes in Star Trek. Star Trek is not about laser blasts and laser blasts and spaceships and so forth. It's very, very relatable. In fact, I think it's one of the healthiest things that one uh, could could immerse oneself in. Um, so after the phone call, I I laid down. I wanted to really share this because I think it would have been beneficial to this third person. So after the phone call with this friend from school, I was in bed and I started listing the. First of all, I thought about doing a video about the themes in Star Trek, like various episodes, the most impactful episodes thematically from the original series, anyway. And then I thought, well, that's kind of boring. I mean, it's kind of almost monotonous. Maybe I should pick themes and pick episodes that match those themes. In other words, over the course of the original series, find common themes that the show explored and kind of group them, use those each theme as a category and list the episodes. Maybe I would summarize them. And then this morning I was in work and I thought, no, 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 no. Return of the Jedi, The Force. Return of the Jedi made a big impact on me. At that time, it was Return of the Jedi and Pinocchio and a few other things that I wouldn't say changed my life, but helped, like role models, helped emphasize and helped me, encouraged me to grow in those ways. Sorry if my collar is a little crooked or whatever. I'm just eager to do this video. Um, so what is the force? I'm not talking about levitating objects or crushing throats or something or other. I mean the confidence, the compassion, creativity, curiosity, and so forth. Why did I feel early on then this positive attitude towards life? And then that led to, of course, I was watching TV then, and more so in the immediate years to come and thereafter. Why did I why did I feel so positive about life? I was going through struggles, some struggles, but I overcame them. And I had a positive attitude, and I got through them. Uh, and then as I started mapping what aspects of the force, more specifically the light side of the force, in if you haven't seen Star Wars, please, I recommend you do, and I recommend that you start with you watch them in release order. You watch the original trilogy, hopefully the despecialized version. But that's another topic. What about the Force? What aspects? Why was Luke Skywalker so confident? What did Yoda and what did Ben, both as senseis or as teachers, teach him about the Force? Patience, uh, not not thinking of someone just because Yoda was very small, not prejudging him, um, um, especially listening to oneself, um, having a quiet mind, and knowing instinctively, like being in tune with oneself, so forth. What about the Force helped guide me, or encourage me? Um, and that dipped into Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket saying, "Let your conscience be your guide," and that matched nicely. And the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in 1990, I was somewhere in like eighth grade at the time when it came out, but Master Splinter was speaking to Raphael. If you don't know, Splinter is the sensei rat, and there are four mutant turtles that he's teaching in terms of ninjutsu, and they each has a different personality, and Raphael is, especially in the movie, rambunctious and adversarial, and ready to pick a fight. And Splinter tells him, I'm paraphrasing, I'm trying to paraphrase as closely as possible, um, your own self, can be either a great strength or an unconquerable enemy. And later in the movie, he meets a human child named Daniel, and Daniel is rebelling, and he steals from his parents. He gets in with a gang, so forth. And there's a sense of family. There's another theme of family in the movie. And Splinter asks him, "Who do you have a family? Who is your family?" So forth. And you can see parallels between Daniel and Raphael, and that ties in with the Force as it's portrayed in Star Wars. Now, I want to make a video about my take on it. Um, this also delves into Dr. Richard Schwartz's um, premise or proposal. He's an internal family systems therapist. He started off as a family systems therapist. In other words, how family members interact with each other and the dynamics that go on. And then he noticed that individuals themselves talk about certain parts of their mind. It's not a monolith, and one part believes this, another part thinks this way, and so forth. And that made a lot of sense to me, considering people can be addicted to certain things. They may drink, they may smoke, they may do whatever, even though part of them says it's not healthy, they shouldn't be doing it, it's perhaps killing them off slowly, gradually, but yet they do it anyway. There are these cravings that they just can't stop. They feel they can't stop. And so his idea is that there are different parts of the mind, that some parts go through trauma and they hold on to the trauma until you listen to them and let them speak. And they have a different perception of your age. Like he would specifically ask that part of someone's mind. I mean, through the person, obviously. how old are you? And the person would say 8 years old or 6 years old or something like that, even though the physical person is like 40 something. Because that trauma has held that certain part frozen, and it needs to be released. It at least needs to be listened to, and that's the role of a therapist. So aside from those, there's this other part that he discovered that people talked about. Well, it's not a part; it's my own core self, and he found that these are the 8 C's. They embody traits of 8 C's: courage, compassion, creativity, curiosity, and a bunch of other ones I can't remember at the moment. There are probably more than 8. So that ties in with what I believe to be the you're being in tune with the force, and confidence. That's another one if I didn't mention it before. And Luke Skywalker displays incredible confidence and compassion and so forth. And I want to talk about that. It's very important. If I don't make any other dent in this channel, I at least want to talk to you, share with you my own philosophy and Star Wars and dip into a few other things that in this video that really strengthened and supported and built up this innate instinctive attitude, I think, within me that perhaps even possibly genetically I inherited from my mom. So that's it. I can hardly wait to share it with you. I've got to write it down. I want to write it out, an essay, and I want to do a video on it. I also have an Amazon store. I've been thinking of creating essays rather than one book, being more prolific in terms of writing. And I'm writing one on basically the topic of my other channel, Samantha Bahar, Bahar, and I have another one here. I could turn my take on the Force into an essay. I've already have for the other essay. I already have like 1,200 words written, and I barely started. So this one, I'm going to start that. Amazon or Kindle, they used to call them shorts. I don't remember what they call them now, but basically 3,000 to 5,000 word essay, maybe more, just for the sake of getting it out. Maybe it'll be free, maybe it's $2.99 or whatever. But after a while, maybe I can bundle them together and sell them as something. I just want to get my ideas out there. All right, so I've talked long enough. I hope you stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.